Okay, Pisces, very lucky. You're going to be able to sidestep a lot of the entrapments that the other signs have to sort of go through and deal with. We do have a difficult month astrologically. It is, Mercury retrograde on the 1st on Easter. It's retrograde conjunct the sun, so it's combust at the exact degree of the sun, which burns up the logic of Mercury from the rays of the sun. And also the same day we have exact Mars-Saturn conjunction, which can be a volatile energy. Things come to a breaking point usually. That could be good or bad. It generally is a time for things to break down in communication, and it's like could be a Mercury retrograde that's less pleasant than the others, because you have the two malefics that are together. However, I'm seeing that with this Jupiter influence, which actually Jupiter does rule your sign, it's sort of the saving grace. You get to rise above it. Wheel of Fortune is luck. Okay, it's being in the right place at the right time, not the wrong place at the wrong time. And it's the card that I also chose for the background. It represents the turning of the seasons. We just had spring come in, and so it's officially now spring with the vernal equinox shifting the seasons. We do see the 4 seasons here on this card, so it just has to do with seasonal shifts and cycles in our life. It looks like there's a new cycle coming in for you in April, and it feels like a very positive one. There's always promise of growth and expansion with this Wheel of Fortune card, so it feels like spring, not just April, will be important for you. Significant for change. Feels like you're starting off the month with very strong energy on Easter here. You have the Chariot card. The Chariot is a vehicle. It's getting in the vehicle and going somewhere. It can be trips. It can represent just the general energy that it's foreshadowing for the whole month. It looks like it's saying like you're going to have a very successful month. You're going to see through the challenges and be able to move through them. This is not, it's like an undefeatable energy. It's a victorious energy that you're just sort of determined to meet your goals. And you do, no matter what challenges stand in your way, you find a way. Where there's a will, there's a way with this card. So I like that you're starting out the month with a very strong and powerful major arcana. You have a lot of very strong and positive and powerful major arcanas the first weekend. You have the Empress, the Hierophant, and the Star as well. I get there's family stuff that continues from Easter until the next day as well. Here's a family card. Things are just really good within the group, whatever group you're involved in on Monday. It looks like there's just very like good vibes, happiness, positivity, all of that. There's a warmth there. Okay. Tuesday, it looks like a little bit of confusion, or just sort of like, this is a fantasizing card, a fantasies energy. So it's like daydreaming. So I get that there's a sense of that. If there's if there's a choice to make, then you have options available to you. So it looks like you're then feeling a little bit more grounded on Wednesday. This is the student card, and I see you actually carefully studying something and putting in the due diligence in order to create what it is that you want. You then have the Empress energy, which she's then used her creative abilities to manifest something, to birth something. It's something that's beautiful. It could be art related. Then you have the Hierophant, which is an organization. You could be presenting some of your work somewhere. Or I feel like there's a sense of like putting something creative that has to do with the arts on display. And this is like a dream come true. I'm just sort of reading how the energy progresses. The individual circumstances will vary from person to person watching this, but it just looks like this is the overall energy for Pisces. It looks like some opportunity that is a golden opportunity. It looks like a dream. And it feels good. The Knight of Wands is a lot of like day trips, right? So you have the Chariot, then you have the Knight of Wands. So Sundays, looks like you're going places. This is a lot of back and forth. It's a little bit of commute or a travel somewhere. Feels fun. It feels exciting though. It feels adventuresome. It could be a spontaneous last minute, like you just happened to go somewhere that you hadn't planned. But it's fun that way. Okay. So this is where things get a little bit tricky. There's a lot of demands from other people, and it feels like all of the energy sort of comes rushing in here. Then where it's like a little bit, it feels a little bit disorganized, and it feels like one person is asking you one thing and then the other person is asking you something completely different. And you're like, well, how do I respond to these two different demands that seem like they're opposing each other? Okay. So it's like you're wanting to make everybody happy, but it feels a little bit difficult to do that because everyone has a different demand. Whatever that is, it looks like you navigate it pretty well. The Magician is like you're able to pull out all the stops, right? So it looks like you're trying to please everyone. It feels like you're doing a pretty good job of it. You're using, like, this is successful multitasking. Okay. The Five of Pentacles. With the Seven of Swords next to it. Okay. I get that there's like an outsider energy, an outsider influence. This is not a trustworthy person. If they haven't established your trust already, don't put your trust into someone that hasn't already proven it. Don't just act on blind faith here. Let this person prove it to you. It feels like there's like an outsider influence that it feels kind of snaky or sneaky. And it doesn't feel that good to me. It's followed by the Justice card. So just be careful of dishonest associations, because it looks like the Justice card is about karma, right? And you don't want to be a victim of circumstance because you just sort of put blind faith into somebody. Then you have the repercussions here. The justice system, there's like unnecessary paperwork that needs to be filled out. Just be careful, like, especially with Mercury retrograde. You don't want any like unnecessary complications. Okay. The Hanged Man, hanging out. This feels very different from the last two Sundays where you're going different places. It looks like, you're sort of, this can be a good energy, it can be a bad, it feels neutral to me. It depends on the circumstance. So if you're just hanging out and you're watching Netflix or whatever, that's a good energy for a Sunday. Otherwise, if you're waiting for something to hear back from somebody, it can be unpleasant because you feel like you don't have any control or power over the situation and you just, can't really move things along. You just have to sort of wait. That can be uncomfortable sometimes. But it just depends on however the energy comes up for you, the Hanged Man. But it feels neutral to me. So then Monday, it looks like you're like, uh-oh. Whatever happened here on Thursday, it looked like it was supposed to happen. It looked like it was a karmic situation. It was karma. It was destined to happen. How you respond to it is really up to you. It looks like you may be feeling uncomfortable here. This is an unsettled energy. You're sort of wanting to protect yourself. I don't know if you're feeling 100% safe. This to me represents worries or lack. This would be someone taking advantage of you or taking advantage of any opportunity or circumstance at your expense, something like that. It feels like you're feeling uneasy. And if you're waiting to hear about the resolution with that, it looks like you don't quite hear from them Monday and you're sort of wondering, oh my God, when is this going to be resolved, right? It looks like the news then comes in Tuesday or Wednesday and it's like, that's that. We're done here. You wrapped that up. Whatever karmic thing needed to happen that had to happen, it looks like it's now over with. You've dealt with it. You've now put it behind you. And now you can move on. Okay, and I feel like you're then feeling more secure. Okay, so the Nine of Pentacles, the same week, and sort of sandwiching this this message that comes in that sort of ends things. It looks like you were feeling this way uncomfortable and like a little bit paranoid, tense even. And it feels like you're much more relaxed. You're much more at ease. You have the Nine of Wands versus the Nine of Pentacles. It's a much more pleasant energy where you're feeling more in control here and not victimized, right? Okay. So then you have the Ace of Swords, which is new communication, new thoughts, an idea. So this looks good if you want to start something. It doesn't look like you're putting it into action yet, but it looks like you have some new information or something new to think about. Okay, a new plan that you might work on over the weekend. The Five of Pentacles is the Emperor, who likes to organize things, put things into order, so that they can move through, without too many complications. It's about taking responsibility. I feel like you may be responsible for people or have to do things. It's like your civil duty sort of things to take care of either your friends, family, people that need your help. You could be the Emperor energy, which is like you're using your authority in some way. Or just you're putting your plans forward into action. Okay. This looks kind of sad. To me, it looks like a loss. It's an emotional loss. I still see that lingering here on Monday. It's the same energy. So Sunday and Monday look kind of like a bummer to me. It looks, there's some sort of disappointment or sadness here. You're not quite seeing the silver lining. You're not seeing the good in this situation. Okay. And then you have the Hermit that comes in to sort of shed light on what is the good of the situation. You still have two cups behind you. You still have a cup here, although you're not seeing it in either card. You're not seeing the benefit of this loss. And it's important that this energy come in then with the Hermit, which is like an older, wiser energy that sort of sheds light on what is to be gained. This is the teacher, right? So it could be a mentor, it could be an older person. Usually I see them as like grandparents or again, teachers, mentors. And if it's you, then you're going within and using your, you're connecting with your soul to really discover what the truth is here. Okay. I see that there's more back and forth communication here. This is always like the online card. You could be online on the computer quite a bit on Wednesday. Looks like you're spending the majority of your time with technology. Three of Swords then. This doesn't look wonderful. Okay, I feel like it is related to the Five of Cups and the Three of Cups. This can just be fears. It can be stress. You could just be feeling, like the emotional loss that I'm seeing here. So it looks like you want to take some time out for solitude and for truth and understanding so you can gain some wisdom. And it looks like there could be a balance of going within versus going online, and sort of avoiding the uncomfortable things that you need to process or whatever that is. Looks like it resurfaces here on Thursday. The Page of Swords is then getting the truth, getting the message. The wisdom that comes through here, it's like you then see it. You're then able to see what the benefit of this loss was. This is beginning to be realistic. It's interesting that you have, I'm seeing that like the days, how they're sort of panning out, and you have swords moving down on Friday. So Friday feels like important revelations, important discoveries. Yeah. Okay, all is well then on Saturday. It looks like the weekend looks really good. You get your wish as far as a relationship goes or a friendship. It looks like you get what you want. This is your desires and your wishes coming true. So whatever uncomfortable energy you had to deal with here towards the last full week of April, it just looks like you're processing all of that. You give it its respect and you move on. And it looks like something then really wonderful comes in to sort of make up for that. I'm seeing like you're walking on sunshine here. Okay, so it's a very much a different energy. You could get your wish if when it comes to like, going on a date with someone or just experiencing a lot of pleasure in a relationship or a current relationship, or just having a really fun time with a close friend, and it really lifts your spirits. And I'm seeing then the Moon card, which is a little bit of the unknown. It's a mystery of how are things going to unfold then with this relationship or with this person. We don't know yet. It's a mystery. We don't get to know with the Moon. Connect with your feelings. Connect with your intuition with this card. You may be getting some sort of psychic hits this day, the last day of April. All in all, I see strong progress and moving through karma in order to sort of clear the path in order for new things to come in. It's going to be a very important month of change. I am seeing that. And I'm seeing that things like could have been a lot worse than they ended up playing out to be. Okay, so let me see if I can get some more information on that or other messages to add to this with the Fairies Tarot Oracle deck. Three of Cups. Yay. Okay, this is a really good card. I am not seeing the Three of Cups in your spread, so it's not necessarily one particular day that stands out. It feels like an overall energy. News worth celebrating. Announcements such as weddings, graduations, or births, friends you cherish. Okay, so spending time with friends looks really good. I see that there is good news coming in here. And I see that at the very beginning of the month and at the very end of the month look the best. I see this is the news worth celebrating here. The beginning of April, like the whole first week. It looks like you get caught up in something that comes to an end. You're then feeling much more secure. You put some sort of plans into action. Something else happens around here that you're sort of triggered by, or there's some sort of like disappointment that you need to process and work out. It looks like you then get your wish. I see that there's a very good opportunity here at the end of the month and at the very beginning. And I'm seeing that here with the Three of Summer. So working with other people, friends, other creative beings, having fun. You have support from other people. I love how many like all of the roses and all of the foliage around you. It feels very rich. It feels very alive. There's a lot of movement and motion. There's a lot of life in this picture. There's a lot to celebrate in life. Okay. I'm going to then see what goddess is with the Pisces people. And what is her message? A start. Use the past as a lesson. Move forward with love. Queen of Heaven. Wow, the Queen of Heaven is going to be with you. Here she is. Here's the Queen. You have the Empress, right? This is like the mother, right? The divine mother, the goddess. And then you have the star, which is from above. I'm also getting ancestral stuff here. So spirit guides, ancestors sort of guiding the way, spirit communication with them. Leaning on them if anything undesirable happens, like right around here. Yeah, and moving forward with love, I do see that at the very end of the month, there's a blessing that comes in here, either in a current relationship or meeting somebody new.